Okay, we have made it back. Pretty much all the dialogue options and other things are the same. The character is the same, aside from the fact that she is now Sapphire II. We have picked up a bunch of stuff that we are going to add to our wares. This can go in this box again. And let us take a moment to analyze the situation a little bit more this time around. Also, I did make Bite a bonus action again. I was not sure about it being an action. I might switch it back to an action if I do feel like it's too powerful. It might very well be too powerful. Honest to God. It will depend on the extra attack that we get at level 3. Without extra attack, I think it's perfectly fine, but with extra attack, being able to hit twice and then also be able to use our bite just seems like a bit too much. I might take the extra attack out. That is actually what I might do, but keep bite as a bonus action. That might be the better course of action, because I've always liked having bite as a bonus action, and I only turned it into an action for the extra attack that we're getting, making it too powerful. But so yeah, why am I not just removing the extra attack then? Okay, but back to what we are dealing with. So let's turn turn-based mode on. If you enter turn-based mode, it is a lot nicer because everything is just frozen up. Okay, so we have Gamora up there. This base has a 5 health, so with a ranged attack we should be able to actually take care of that. Our ranged attack is actually 2 to 9, so could be that we actually fail it, right? So the enemies of Gamora are my enemies, you know, it can go either way. We could possibly also go here. We could go around and go through here and shoot her out of that thing and possibly save ourselves that way. Or we could jump in again and try to deal with these guys. This time around I do have my bite available to me as a bonus action. So that's that. But perhaps it is the smarter move to try and save her. It is going to make us move forward though if we are doing it from here. So that said, we should try to move around. And we are going to use dash. And yeah, I could end turn-based mode now, but I just like to stay in it when I'm doing strategic things. We're also noticing this guy over here, but right now he is none of our concern. Alright, and now we end our turn and it's the environment's turn. And I like this for delicate sneaking, because that way there's no way we are going to accidentally trip more than one save. Okay, so we are hiding and we have advantage, so it's very much possible that we should be able to do this. And I think that's the better course of action, that we do this. But let's end our turn so we get our full movement back. So basically this is our character preparing themselves, being like, okay. And now we're ready, we have our full movement. And we can take a shot at this. And that did not work, so I think I'm going to end my turn. It looks like they did not notice that, which is kind of hilarious if you ask me. So we've just used that as an action, so I like to end my turn one more time. And then we're going to get her out. And now she's in the fight, and we're in the fight as well. Oh, nice. Okay, we blocked it that time. So the piercing damage still hurts a lot, as you can see, but we also do heal when we are in a shadow, so that is good. We have Gamora on our side this time, so there is a good chance that we're gonna win this fight. The question now is, we have already used up our action. We do have a bonus action left, so we could technically use Bite. So we could technically walk in there and use Bite, but that does not seem like the smartest choice right now, all things considered. Because they are still two of them, and yeah, I like to think, oh yeah, sure, I'm gonna go in there guns blazing and all that, but I don't know. There are two of them. Sure, Gamora is gonna help out as well. So, are we going to go in and bite, or are we going to stay here? I mean, they can kind of hit us, which I find it very surprising that they have a line of sight, right? Right, like, their line of sight is pretty obscured, but yeah, I suppose they can sort of shoot me from there. Ridiculous, really. I don't know. We could die if we go in, that's the problem, so we're not going to. Instead, we are probably going to head around, trying to cut them off maybe. Yeah, let's do that. So they're over there. There's a lot of shadow down there. So I think I should be fine standing right here. So Gamora's turn now. She's probably gonna go in there and smack the guy one. It's good. Good distraction. She's running. Wow, and look at that. Just one damage. Yeah, it must be her armor. Yeah, it must be her armor that is giving her all that reduction. Okay, so it's my turn again, and as you can see, we are very far away. But that's alright. I might actually just hide. Can I get over there? No. But I can go over here. That seems like a good spot. Am I in shadow? Yes. Apparently I am in shadow over here. Okay, so we're being a little bit of a chicken shit here. But that's alright. That's alright. Okay, so she's not standing in a shadow anymore. So we could go out and attack her, but as you can see, this lowers our chances of actually hitting her quite drastically. I'd like to first go into this shadow. So we'd have to step out of the shadow to attack her, which is not exactly ideal. So we could try to actually knock her into the shadow, which is what we're gonna do. Of course, we've used up a lot of our movement here, so we might not even be able to reach her. Yeah, we're not even able to reach her, but that is... yeah. Hmm. You know what? I am going to take the risk of just standing right in front of her. So now we have her in a shadow. Okay, 5. And she succeeded. Okay. And she can run. Yeah, but she's running into a shadow. Okay, so that's great for us. Okay, great for us that she ran right there. So now we can finally fight her head on. And we can use our bite. And that should maybe already kill her. Plus heal us, of course. Oh, wow, critical hit. Okay, do we have time to loot? Yes, we always have time to loot. I do like having a slightly different combat style and like playing around a little bit with like shoving and trying to be in the shadows as much as possible. So this guy moved over there. And we can get in the shadow here, so we are going to play forward now. She's probably not going to even survive that. Yeah, no, of course not.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Okay, I mean, you just decide for me that I'm gonna join you, Bob. But what exactly is a creche?
It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter. Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Gaith tadpole, we must report to Augustil for purification.
Alright, so it seems like they have had dealings with mind flayers in the past, and they are very clear on their customs about it. It is tempting, but once again, we are going to decide to go the lone wolf route here, because I would like to still be able to play as her and play her story, or at least play with her with a character that makes more sense to be pairing up with her. This pair is not bad, honestly. She seems to not mind too much that we are a vampire. She doesn't seem to be a goody two-shoes, but I think it's still better for us to just take our distance, because if she finds out our intentions and that we are evil and that we really just are in it for ourselves, she might start being against us, and we can't have that. So
you would sacrifice yourself to Gaith. Such tiring mediocrity.
well, you can scowl all you like, but that's my answer. Alright, so she's not happy with that, but at least we did save her.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
So that fight was... I would say that fight was not too difficult for us to handle, but still challenging enough with the piercing damage, I would say, and, you know, the light sensitivity. We are supposed to be relatively OP. Like, don't get me wrong, I do realize that we are relatively OP, even with the changes that I introduced. And the extra attack is just going to make that worse, so perhaps, yeah, it's probably a good idea to not take the extra attack. It's going to be a challenge, though, to deal with characters that are really difficult to beat. Especially in honor mode, some characters that I faced. I don't know how I would be dealing with them without the OP-ness of the vampire. But we're gonna have to see, right? We're just gonna try to do with this. And if the extra attack is necessary, we're gonna keep it. If not, we are going to get rid of it. Thankfully, we do not have to decide that right away. What we do need to decide right away is if these people over here get to live or die.
Don't want to draw any attention. Should mind my step.
And I think the question is easy to answer. We are not really human. We do not really care about the lives of, well, what is this guy? Half elf, halflings. What is she? Elf, high elf. Yeah, we do not care for the lives of these creatures, honestly. And they do seem like they have their gear together quite well. So since we cannot ally with them most likely because, well, they wouldn't ally with us, they're either a hindrance for us to find whatever treasure is, you know, hiding in this general area, or they're going to start attacking us, or they can make us stronger by sacrificing their lives for us, and else. So I think the question is easily answered. They are just sacrifices on our way to gaining more power. Once again, turn-based mode. It can be a bit annoying, but there we go. So this character is now moving away, which we want. We want that character to be as far away as possible. There we go. There could possibly be different ways of dealing with this situation. Getting this guy up here first, for example. But I find that the best way for me to deal with these people is actually, once again, shooting from a distance.
Seems your action.
There we go. That triggered that. And you know, if you're not in turn-based mode, it's hard to react because she's gonna start running down, right? And she's aggroed, right? But she has not seen you yet. This guy's also aggroed, but he hasn't seen you yet either. And you know, I've come to realize that perhaps there's a way for me to get all the way up there, but maybe not. Doesn't seem like I can jump on this pillar. I was hoping that it's kind of possible to get up there somehow and maybe find some more loot, but I guess not. These walls are just walls, and I don't see any loot up there anyway. So we're just gonna get out of harm's way here. Basically just jumping out of it. Boop. And then yeah, you know what, here should be fine.
And move.
Apparently we are in a shadow here. I like to check just so I can be sure where we have shadows and where not. So that was the environmental turn. And yeah, we do not see them because we're too far away. And we're going to loop all the way around here now. Probably while sneaking. And I like to just use the jump as many times as I can. It increases my movement. The vampire also comes with a whopping 21 meters of movement. I was considering nerfing that, but honestly, it feels kind of necessary. Okay. I'm not sure if there's any way for us to jump from here in there. Probably not. For now, we are going to go here. Okay, so she's still up there. But I don't think there's any way for me to get in there. Like, these windows were all too high. So instead, we're just gonna wait around for her to circle down. Yeah, so finally she's running down. Right, and this guy is still up there, so that's actually the perfect opportunity for us. Just that this is going to require a lot of movement to get behind her. We are hidden, so if we jump up there, we should still be hidden.
I think.
I love how she says, good idea, I think. Alright, so we should still be hidden, and actually, we do have enough movement to get her. But here's something that I don't understand. Apparently there's sunlight sensitivity at play here. And I think it's because she is in sunlight. So the sunlight sensitivity is kind of an odd thing. Our Dark Predator passive seems to take into consideration whether we are in sunlight or not. But the sunlight sensitivity seems to take into consideration if the enemy is in sunlight or not. So we do suffer a penalty here. But we still get an 85% chance, which is still pretty darn good if you know, if you're asking me. We could wait for her to come back up, right? And then ambush her instead. But I don't even know if she's going to come back up this way or if she's going to go that way. So I think we're just gonna take our chance here. 85%, that is still really good. So
I'll strike you down.
let's just go ahead. There we go. That was really good. And she is surprised, so since we are still before her, we would get another move. Like we even if we fail to hit her, we'd still get another action over her. It's just that this guy is going to get an action before that. I don't think he's going to be able to kill me though. Either way though, I don't think there's any question about that. We should just try to kill her here. And we do miss, which that does happen. There's no attack of opportunity for a mage character like her. The main concern I have right now is that mages can fuck me over quite hard. And if I stay here, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. On the other hand, there's a nice spot up here which is in shadow. The other guy might not be able to reach me there, and I don't think she will be able to just hit me as well. Though she's probably gonna be able to hit me with a spell, right? The furthest I could walk away this way is over there, which is not a bad spot either, to be honest, to be fair. So there's the question, do we go up here or do we go down that way? I'm leaning more toward going up here.
Light on my feet.
Reason being that it's closer to both of them. So we want to stay close so that we can close the distance again and attack them. Oh, right, I completely forgot. I get another attack on her. Right. We're gonna try biting her again.
Try me.
And this time we managed to do it. Alright. Now the question of the other guy though. So there's twisting vines over here everywhere. Trying to find a nice shadow close to him. We might be able to jump through that window, but I don't think we have enough movement. We might just about... No, I don't think we have enough movement. It would be fun if we could, right? 13 meters. I think we're gonna go here.
That's a friendly looking
And we're gonna hide and see what he does. Okay, so he has no idea where we are and he just decides to stick around right there. Okay. I do want to know if it's possible for me to jump through that window, so bear with me real quick. It actually is. Huh. Okay, so we were able to jump through the window. That should really,
Need to find a way forward.
really confuse this guy now. But we stand in a very awkward position. Okay. We're gonna completely use up this turn to get in position. See what he does. Okay, so he's doing nothing. Okay, so we get a 65% chance on him if we go out there. How much is our chance of actually... Okay, so we have a higher chance of actually knocking him over, so I'm gonna do that instead. Okay, so that did not kill him, of course. But now he is down there. And... I wonder if he's going to stay down there. We are going to go into this shadow. So he's probably not going to stay down there, no. But he moved into another shadow for us, which is great. So we are going to try to avoid these stupid vines. And then we're gonna go for him.
Time for some bloody work.
Okay, and we can also use the bite. Alright, is this too easy or not? I think it should be fair for a vampire to be able to do this, especially with all the planning and careful maneuvering that we did. I think if we had just gone in, guns blazing, 1 versus 4, this would have gone horrible for us. But we didn't. We went about it the smart way, so I do feel like we should not have to feel bad about this, or that we are too overpowered. Alright, all of them are dead. There's some stuff to pick. And there's this up there. A glow cup mushroom. I don't think I've ever... Where did that go though? Did that go in there? Holy shit, I don't know where that... Oh, it's to eat. Okay. Okay, where did we go? Okay, we're down there. We're gonna go here and dig up a treasure that we didn't find earlier. Also, we have 2 shovels now, so one of them we're definitely going to add to our wares. And if you fail a check for a hidden treasure, you can still just dig it up if you know where it is. Which, oh wow, okay, another scroll of sleeping. We have 2 of those now. Awesome. So scroll of sleep might be something that we are going to take use of, or make use of, in some fights to come. If we can actually cast it successfully. That is a thing. But we're gonna have to try and figure out as well. But yeah, like 2 turns of putting someone to sleep, that is actually not bad for us. Getting rid of some of the peskier archers if we have a large fight at hand might be not bad for us. Ouch. Just knocked my elbow on my table. Okay, so in here you usually find some nice scrolls, which is very nice. Mage armor, I'm probably not gonna make use of that. Protection from good and evil is kinda nice though, not gonna lie. Actually, I don't need to go through there, I can go in here. So protection from good and evil is kinda nice, in that undead creatures have a disadvantage. So that is definitely nice for us when we are fighting undeads. Which might happen from time to time, right? We are immune to necrotic damage, of course. So that's nice. But yeah, that doesn't mean that we can't still be overwhelmed by a bunch of skeletons. We are completely going to ignore that. Basically because our character does not have any arcane knowledge, so why would they get involved with something like that? That just looks like it's gonna explode and kill us. Alright, time to move on. So this next fight is easy, even without being a vampire. I've played that next fight with just a normal character before, just a normal barbarian, and it's still super easy. The fight is just easy in general. So there's the waypoint, and I like to pick up this. No. I like to pick up the stupid balsam. Healing potions still work on vampires, like I mentioned earlier. They still have a metabolism, or so I've read. Okay, so we're going to go up there. Probably going to trigger everything. I wonder if we can sneak in here.
Open the bloody gate!
Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders!
That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now!
You let goblins here? Where is the druid?
Please! There's no time!
By the 9 hells! Open the gate! Cannon! No!
Shit! Form a line!
Damnable roach! Provoke the blade and suffer its sting.
Alright, we rolled an 11 for the initiative, which puts us pretty far down the line. And we are not hidden anymore, I think. Or are we? Sometimes it's hard to tell. Like I hate how I can't really see much of my character and like what's going on. Alright, so that's one down already. Okay, very fast this time around. And that should have been yeah, so see, we are still taking more damage from the piercing and everything, but we're still pretty OP, all things considered. We can walk here and we should be in a shadow and be able to attack this guy. But once again, sunlight sensitivity, right, is going to apply whether the enemy is in sunlight or not. Which does make sense because if we're attacking him, we're obviously, you know, attacking into the sunlight. So there's that. On the other hand, this guy down here is standing in shadow, so no sunlight disadvantage. And so here's the question. Should a vampire be able to take out 2 goblins, like very weak goblins, in one move or not? That is the question. Should they be able to do that? Which is basically saying, can they do that so fast that a normal human or normal goblin would only be able to shoot 1 arrow or attack with 1 weapon or something like that? I'm a little bit on the fence about it, but I mean, vampires do have very fast reflexes. So I do think that we definitely are not
With haste.
too strong in that sense, but we're also strong. Like, don't get me wrong, we are strong. It is definitely not weak being able to do both of these attacks. Oh wow, that hurt. So going toe to toe with the bugbear here is going to be interesting. Oh, they healed me. Ha, thank you. Because he does have a piercing weapon on him, right? That thing looks like it hurts. But yeah, going toe to toe here, we are probably going to come out ahead, and we are just going to do that just so we can see, right? If being able to bite is a problem. So we should be able to go toe to toe with a bugbear, easy peasy. Like, I think if I couldn't kill this thing relatively simply, I won't be able to actually play again. Right? Like, this is not a boss. This is just like, sure, it's a hobgoblin or something like that. I don't even know. Is that a hobgoblin? Type of hobgoblin? Does it say? Well, it's a bugbear. Okay. Well. Pfft. Okay, so that's hairy humanoids that crave carnage and treasure in equal measure. Okay, so that's a race by itself. Okay, interesting. I have never heard of that race. But yeah, we should definitely be on par, if not stronger than a bugbear, I would say. But yeah, as you can see, he's dealing a lot of damage to us. 9 and 7. Yeah, we are definitely like that almost killed us, right? If you look at our health right now. Sure, we are going to heal 5 health, but that almost killed us. So I wouldn't say that we are at a huge advantage, but we have a slight advantage over him. Like, see, we're like 12 health right now. So it's doing what I wanted it to do, right? The piercing damage vulnerability is definitely doing what I wanted it to do. I was considering giving myself vulnerability against all the damage types, but it just didn't seem to make sense. Piercing damage made a bit of sense because, well, if they get my heart, right? There's that. Okay, so everyone but the commander is dead, and I think we can reach him. Ah, he survived with 1 health. Interesting. Okay. Another thing is that humans can walk 9 meters. So the question really is, and they can do that in 1 turn, so they can move 1 meter, 9 meters in 1 turn, and attack. And they can do all that in 1 turn. So is it reasonable for me to be able to do a bite and a weapon attack in the same amount of time? Probably.
That was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate!
Alright, everyone inside, everyone but me. I am gonna loot first. Gloves of Power, I actually really like these guys. So Bane is actually really nice because it can make enemies much weaker when they're fighting me. But it's also not that great, you know. It's great, but also not that great. Okay. Picking up everything. Because we have nothing, so we need everything. Alright, so we are about halfway to level 2, and we still have some stuff to do before we go in there. And I think, you know, it makes sense that we wouldn't immediately go in there, right? Because, well, we are a vampire, we don't want to go in there unless we have to, right? Because if we go in there and they notice we are evil, we are a vampire, that would be bad. But at the same time, we might want to try to go in so we can sell some of our wares and, you know, buy some stuff and so on and so forth. And yeah, but we definitely are trying to get stronger before we go in there.
What's in here?
Ah, there it is. So this one's great. This one really fits my playstyle, the Elixir of Bloodlust. Drink to enter a Bloodlust. Once per turn when you kill a foe, you gain 5 temporary hit points and an additional action. Replaces the effect from other elixirs when drunk. This one is great. Honestly, this one is great. Especially because it will last the whole day. It will last the whole day. Apparently, I have never got to use it, so if it's really going to last for a whole day, that is really powerful. We are definitely going to try to use that this time around. Okay, we failed the history check, but that's okay. We just got one of the best necklaces in the game, which is basically going to make up for our, or at least to some degree, is going to make up for our sunlight sensitivity. In certain situations, right? In certain situations. And in here, you usually just find some gold, and that's that. There's one more place we gotta go to, where Astarion is. Pick up some more loot before we continue. Yeah, and I'm sorry that I'm not cutting any of this out. I really don't feel like editing these videos, so you're just stuck with me walking around. Sometimes maybe even aimlessly when I'm in areas that I don't know yet. But I hope that I can make it enjoyable enough to spend time just sitting here and listening to me talk. Alright, so if you remember, there was this area here that I said we're gonna come back later, because there's a nature check that we need to pass. So we are going to try to do that. Alright. Looks like we got lucky because our guidance was cancelled. And nature failed anyway. Okay. I don't know if there's any way for me to dig this up.
Nothing but dirt.
I actually see, that's the thing. I don't think there is any way for me to do anything. A lot of times, even when you fail a check, it's going to let you do something. But in this case, I cannot attack that stone. I cannot do anything to that stone. I just cannot get the treasure that's under there, which is mildly infuriating, but well, it is what it is. Anyway, we can just teleport up there. Okay, few more things that we're gonna do, because I would like to be level 3 before I enter in the ruins. The grove. Are we not just standing in shadow? Why are we not healing? Ah, so apparently we were not standing in a deep enough shadow. Alright. We're gonna use guidance here, just cause. It's not necessary, but it is nice when you succeed at something. More stuff for us. And we're about to meet some interesting people over here.
People up ahead. Something's wrong.
You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows, marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
We do not have to use the Illithid Wisdom here, and if you are new to this, I recommend you don't use it because you can only use it once per day. Or maybe once per short rest. I have no idea. But I don't like to take my chances with it, so we're just gonna ask what happened.
An oil bear. Please, do you have any...
Shut up, Andric. Do you serve the Absolute?
Wait.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming chills in your head.
So we're gonna hold his stare.
Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brenna, new recruits. Yours to shepherd.
Protect them. They are a true soul. Mind them. They will. They.
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
Alright, can we just note how much effort they went through with all the voice acting, recording different lines based on your gender, and even going with a non-gender, like they. My god, so much dedication. So, these two are interesting. I don't know what happens if we tell them to just forget the owlbear and just go. I don't know what they're gonna be up to, but I like to just send them after the owlbear.
What?
It killed one of us. It killed Edwin. It's an enemy of the Absolute. You're right. The beast must be destroyed.
The cave is just ahead. It was too much for us before, but if you could help us, True Soul, we may stand a chance.
Alright. They may stand a chance, yeah.
What were they raving on about?
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Your limbs move of their own accord. There's something of value, something your mind craves. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you.
Yes, let's let our body guide us. Ouch. I love how we just casually put that in our pocket. Like, whoop. That is kind of interesting. Anyway, we get a lot of experience from just this little interaction, right? So 70, 30, that's 100 experience, which brings us relatively close. 129 to go. And we are going to get that experience one way or another. And we're gonna get all the loots. Honestly, I'm not sure what would happen if I just go directly to the goblin camp now. But yeah, no. Let's just stick with a natural progression. Alright, some nice stuff on these corpses here. So we find a goblin drawing, so we're gonna read that. Drawn in thick charcoal lines upon an animal skin, this childlike portrait depicts three stick figures. A goblin with sparks in its hands, a square, humanoid figure, and what seems to be an elf. Each of them is wearing a simple crown. Alright. So it's probably starting to be a bit unimmersive that we are all the way out here. But I don't care right now. I need this experience, so we are just going to go for it. Later on in the game I will not know what is what, so then I'm not going to be able to do all this and know what I'm up to. Okay, so we need 69 more experience, and we can get that if we just climb up here and have a little interaction with the locals.
Well, boys. Looks like we got ourselves a trespasser. Wait, a drow? In the sun? Stand down! This one's got a touch of the absolute about them. Apologies, your lordship. Hard making you out from a distance.
Yes, well, I should pluck out your eyes. You're clearly not using them.
Please, your greatness. Was an honest mistake is all. You'll get no more trouble from us. Promise.
There we go, that's 100 experience and we have leveled up. Normally I go up here on this roof and like this guy that's up there is usually who I talk to. But it's nice to know that even if you don't get to sneak up, when they do see you, they recognize immediately that you're Drow. That's great that they do recognize. And I was honestly a bit careless. I completely forgot about the fact that if I use guidance, it's going to cancel my sneaking. My god. So now we can level up. And we will be level 3 before we enter the grove. And we're definitely going to stick to the Wild Heart Barbarian. We could go with Berserker, right? We could go with Berserker. I was considering it, that I will go with Berserker this time around, so that we can use the Frenzied Strike, and instead I will get rid of the extra attack, and then we can have the Frenzied Strike as a bonus action. But I'm gonna stick with Wild Heart because the tankiness of a Bear Heart is definitely very desirable. I'm not sure about the piercings, but I think I'll keep them for now. Nah, I don't like them. There we go. She looks much better without them. Okay, and we're getting an increase to our health, so we're up to 32. And we also unlock the Shadow Step, which is really nice. And there we go. So now we have to decide what we are going to do. So we have two options. We could just continue on, right, and go straight to the Goblin Village. That may make sense for this character to not even bother with the Grove. You know what? I'm curious about that. I'm curious to try that out. Because honestly, it makes a bit more sense this way, you know, that we are going to find our allies here rather than there. I'm curious what will happen. I'm very curious what will happen. So, that is what we are going to do, I suppose, in the next one. Yeah. Alright, it was fun. I'll see you the next one. Bye bye.